I think every conquistador had that after sailing across the sea. Oh my gosh. Actually, all right. Speaking of that, dude, guess what I was watching and listening to till like 1:30 a.m. last night before.
It could be anything.
I had some spicy chicken that kept me up with gurgly tummy. I had bubble gut tummy, and I was like, there's no way I can go to sleep peacefully while this is going on.
Yeah.
So I threw in another 3-poucher of Zyn to just get things oiled up.
As in like a 3 milligram or a triple?
No, a 666.
666, yeah.
The devil's
That's
sugar.
Yeah,
I never even thought of it that way, but it is. Yeah. But yeah, no, throw in 3 6 milligram pouches to, like, that's what I do if I'm like, I know I need a poo so I can get some sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And I am not going to be able to go to sleep until this gut passes. Mm-hmm. So I'll throw in one of those and just wait till it does its magic.
Yeah. You can't drink coffee. That's counterproductive to sleeping.
Yeah, exactly. You can't drink coffee at 1 a.m. So anyways, though, I threw those in and I was watching Mike Rowe.
Oh, yeah.
Dirty Jobs, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching him, as he does, educate the masses while being a guest on the Joe Rogan show. And it was like, it was clear in an episode where Joe was just like easily, pretty brutally on shrooms. Or something, man, because he just was breathing so hard and kept on interrupting Mike Rowe.
His veins in his head are sweating.
And he was just like, oh my God. And like he was literally like, he sounded like he got kicked in the nuts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, was a test subject, but Mike Rowe was telling the true story. Which I watched a full, like, longer video on to get, like, make sure I watch the whole thing. But it's the story of the Essex. Do you know the Essex?
The Essex. Is it a ship?
It was a ship.
Did it explore the Arctic?
No. This was not one of those ships.
Was it an old ship?
Give me. How old is one old?
One old would be like, coal. Engine, or did it have sails? That's old.
Yeah. It had sails.
Okay, it had sails. All right, so that's pretty old. So wooden and sails. The Essex. Do you know what country did it hail from?
Technically the United Kingdom, but it was coming off of Suffolk, Virginia. Suffolk, Massachusetts.
So this was before America.
Yeah.
During the colony times.
Yeah, so the Essex was a whaling ship.
Oh man.
Coming out of Nantucket, Massachusetts. And the Essex is the ship that experienced the real life Moby Dick. And what they encountered out at the sea and how the crew only a few survived, but essentially their experience is what traveled across the globe during that time and day of like just crazy, insane news, and it is what led what's his name, Herman Melville, what's his name, the guy who wrote Moby Dick.
Oh yeah, I have no idea.
Okay, all right. You never read that? Or like Journey to the Center of the Earth? They're like all written by the same dude, I'm pretty sure.
I have watched the 1950s or whatever Journey to the Center of the Earth, and I was disturbed by it on a family pizza movie night as a child. But whaling ships, I think they're so cool.
Herman Melville.
Herman Melville.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do you know much about whaling ships?
I don't, but I just think there used to be so many whales.
All right, so let me tell you. Yeah. No, this is the crazy thing. So this was like back in like the 1800s. It was 1820. So Massachusetts wasn't a colony of England anymore.
Okay,
that was a different Essex ship that I was mentioning. This is a list of like various Essex ships here that I'm looking at.
Common name.
But yeah, so this one, it was crewed by like a 22 dudes with a captain and then like 21 crew. And they would go out on their whaling ships for like, sometimes this is this is the thing that threw Joe Rogan over the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Rowe would say they'd leave for 2 to 3 years.
Long hunters, dude.
2 to 3 years, bro,
That's
before coming back from a whaling excursion.
That's what Daniel Boone would do, man. Long hunters.
Yeah, but these are dudes that got like wives and kids and family back in Nantucket.
I know. That's what, back in the day, like if you were going after stuff, like these guys meant business. I
couldn't do it, bro. Could you?
I mean,
there's no way you could be away from your children for 2 to 3 years and feel like a good father.
No,
like not by modern day standards.
Right, by modern standards, certainly not. I think I maybe could have done this.
Back in the day,
like
you could have gone on a Nantucket sleigh ride. I do get
seasick, so that might have been a problem.
You couldn't have done this, bro. All right, so they go off to try to find these spawning areas, right, and do whaling. And the captain. I'm not going to spend too much time on the names. I'm giving like a glossy overview here of the story, but everyone should go check it out. There's quite a few books written about it that are like the true ones. The Heart of the Sea, and then there's another one called, I think it's called Beneath the Heart of the Sea. Both of them are based off of like the first-hand accounts of survivors and like the letters they wrote about it. Just how freaking brutal this was. The Heart of the Sea, and then there was one more. Oh, there was a movie called The Heart of the Sea produced by Ron Howard. That was the one that Chris Hemsworth was in. But anyways, so the Essex sails out of Nantucket. They're going for the excursion, and they're not having a lot of good luck. And they're getting hit by storms, and it's just like sucking balls. And they're down, like they know like the best place to go is like the warm water in the near the equator towards South America. And I'm pretty sure this is before there's the canal, the Panama Canal, of course, right?
Oh yeah.
It's like I don't think there was anything at the time to get through. Like you just got to sail down and around. But they get told by some guys coming back, and they're like, "Yeah, you got to go on the other side of South America, and there's more whales than you can, do. Like you could throw a stone and it's gonna hit a whale in the water." And there was just schools of them, like schools of these whales. Just you'd look out and it was just the ocean. Really did probably have that illusion of like a massive creature's tentacles or a long serpent, because of how many humpbacks and like tails there were, and like you wouldn't always see a tail breach, so it just looks like this roiling black slick creature. But everyone was just like, it's unreal how many whales over there. And so they are sailing around, and they got to do some repairs because of more storms and stuff. One dude abandoned ship. One dude at port is like, I'm out of here. Like, this is not a very good hunt so far. But they get around from the south side of South America, around the tip of like Chile and Argentina, and then they're coming back up. And as they come back, dude, they see it, and it is just an insane, like unending pod of whales. And they start harpooning them. And the way they do this, bro, they drop down like 2 or 3 sloops, which don't have sails. They're just rowers.
Right.
But the rowers, like you only row to get next to a whale. And the whales aren't faster than what you can row. Like they just really aren't.
Right.
And so you would harpoon them and tie the harpoon off to the sloop, and you would do 2 sloops or something, because the whale's not strong enough to pull 2 boats down against buoyancy.
Okay.
So the whale tuckers itself out while it's just thrashing and taking you for a swim. And they called it a Nantucket sleigh ride, because they like at that point the harpoon's good. It's not going to come loose.
Right.
Because you usually have like, your strongest dude just straight up yeet that thing.
It's barbed in there.
Yeah, and it's barbed. And then everyone just holds on to the boat so they don't go overboard while they're harpooning. And so they get this whale, and they've harpooned her. And they begin rowing back to the ship. And when they get back, they find out that the mate of this whale, this sperm whale mate, targeted the Essex and rammed it twice. And on the second ramming, it like split open the port side of it, and the Essex is like sinking. Like, so like captain's coming back on the sloop with his other guys, and everyone on is like, dude, we cannot save the ship. So they pretty much hop off and like grab all the supplies they can, like tack and stuff for our eating, rations, 50 gallons of water. And they pretty much split the rest of the crew on these 3 sloops, and they start trying to do makeshift sails and stuff, because they end up realizing, with their rations of tack and water, if they ration it, they got about 60 days, about 2 months of rations. And that they have to like row and sail on these little tiny dinghies for about, I think it was something crazy like 2,600 nautical miles, because everything out there near them, island wise, is totally abandoned, uninhabited islands. No one lives on them, and they have like nothing really on them other than like crabs and seagulls to survive off of. And so they start going, and it's like they're having a rough time. I think before they reach the first island, another dude dies of like just dehydration, and they throw him overboard, sew him up in his clothes, throw him overboard. The tack, because of the whale flooding the ship, when it dried, it was so salty.
Yeah, tack being the hard biscuits they'd eat. All right.
And so like that tack was like actually dehydrating them more. So they kind of were like, they stopped eating a lot of it because they were just so starving and it was like, it was making them so thirsty that they weren't hungry, but they were like going through the water too quick. So they quit it, but then they become starving. And they get in this island, and there's like what's called some kind of, I can't remember the weed. There's some kind of weed on this island that they can eat, but it's not like a very sustaining, nutritious source. But it is edible by humans. And then there's like crabs and seagulls. And 3 guys are like, hey, you know what? Go on, we'll stay here. But you guys can like, of course, have the water and rations, and hopefully you'll survive. And they literally wasted like 30 days on this island of like, oh, hopefully someone comes by. And so now they have far less time to make it to Chile, and they keep going. And as they go, there's some storm occurs, and it separates the 3 boats from each other. And after they get separated, that's when it turns to all out, like just like drawing lots. I'm reading
some causes of death here, and what happened to these people, and gets a little crazy at this
shot
point.
And eaten.
That's exactly the person I was referring to.
No, so here's the brutal thing. That's Owen Coffin. Owen Coffin was the cousin or nephew of the captain, and so the 4 of them were in the boat, and they drew lots, and Owen drew the shortest. Like it was essentially match heads.
At this point, they had been eating the dead.
They had been eating the dead, and now no one was dying.
Yeah.
Because they were like, well, we need more to eat if we're going to make it. And they're like, the captain was like, well, this is a conflict of interest. And there's like actual like rules. This is the thing that blew Joe Rogan's mind the most, that, Mike Rowe was getting into, and he's like, this wasn't just like made up on the spot. Like you get trained in these rules. Like there are rules of how, like if you're marooned or stranded, how to eat everyone. And like you can't force
order of operations for eating people.
It is. And it's like you can't force brothers to kill and eat another brother. But like cousins are okay. And stuff like that. So like, but anyways, so the captain was like, this is not right. I can't do this. He's my nephew. And Owen though was just like so done and fed up. He's a 16-year-old kid, by the way.
Yeah.
He's like, he is reported of saying to his captain, he says, I actually quite like my lot. And so then they just had to draw sticks to see who would execute him. And then the captain ended up drawing. And so he had to execute his own cousin. So he just had his cousin look off the one end of the ship, put a musket to the back of his head, and pull the trigger. And then they ate him. But then just 2 days later, another one of them fell to like dysentery or something like that. So they didn't even have to, if they just waited 2 days, they wouldn't have had to kill the kid. But then they ate that guy, and one ship was found, like one of the sloops was found washing up to shore about a month later. And there was just bone clean skeletons in it. No one else was alive.
Yeah.
The captain and this other guy survived because they were eating one of the guys who had died, and another ship found them and came to help them, and they were so insane they thought the ship of dudes was trying to get their food, so they fought them off. And they're like, what the hell are these guys doing? And like, what, how do we get them, how do we rescue them, because they're so feral. They think we're taking away their food.
And like crazy thing about that would be like, they didn't have the acronym PTSD.
No.
Right. So they're like, these guys have just kind of lost it.
Scurvy.
Yeah. But it's like, oh my gosh. I mean,
Look, this is what happens when you don't eat oranges.
Exactly. And for age perspective here, those of you out there listening, the captain, he was 29. His first mate, 21. He had a bunch of 20-year-olds underneath him. I think the youngest kid was 14. He had 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 15-year-olds. So I mean,
these young boys.
These are young guys out there in a crazy situation.
Yeah.
And like I said, as they got divided, there was because as you brought this up, I was thinking to myself, well, how did anybody tell the story? Well, because
Owen Chase gave that's what the Heart of the Sea was based off, his account.
Because people survived.
Eating each other, yeah.
From having to do the unthinkable.
Smoke break.
Smoke break.
Hey, Ken, it's Mick, and I've got something important to talk about. We all hope we never find ourselves in a self-defense situation, but life's unpredictable. Enter the National Self-Protection Plan from Attorneys on Retainer, an actual credible law firm you could put on retainer for your self-defense needs. For just $35 a month, you get national coverage in all 50 states for criminal and civil legal representation in self-defense situations, complete with a 24/7, 365 toll-free emergency line. That's real legal support when you need it most. What's in the package? Bail bonds, scene cleanup, firearm replacement, even mental health counseling. Plus, 0 fees for a laundry list of defense-related costs like expert witnesses. So support the show and get yourself some peace of mind. Click the link in our show notes or visit our sponsors page to sign up for the National Self-Protection Plan from Attorneys on Retainer.
Hey folks, Pat here. If you're like Mick and I, you're a fan of classic tales like Lonesome Dove, Blood Meridian, The Three-Body Problem, and Steinbeck's East of Eden. With Audible, you can dive into these epic stories anytime, anywhere. Sign up for a free month, and your first audiobook is on the house. To start your free trial and support our show, click the link in the show notes or swing by the sponsors page on our website.
Want an awesome website for your podcast? Check out Podpage. We use it for the Mick and Pat show, and it's a game changer. Set it up in minutes, no coding needed. Support the show by using our link to get started. Your podcast deserves a home as great as ours. Podpage, the one-stop solution. Well, and so here's the thing, too. I can't remember how Owen Chase and his group was saved. I can't remember if they got to shore or if another rescue ship found them. Mm-hmm. But after they were all recovered and could like coherently inform their rescuers, they're like, hey, there are 3 guys on this island called Henderson. Mm-hmm. Henderson Island. It's here on the map. You got to go save them.
That was the first island where they left the guys.
Yeah.
And they were trying to, so they left part of their group to.
Those guys volunteered. It wasn't like they left them. Those guys nominated themselves to stay behind.
Right. So, but one group's staying, the other group's going to go.
Yeah.
And if the group that goes gets back, they're going to come get them.
Yeah. And so they tell them, and some Chileans or Argentinian ships come out and go to the island, and like all 3 dudes are fine. They haven't eaten each other. They're like very thankful to be rescued, but they weren't about to like die. And it was one of those things that was just like so brutal, right? But anyways, that went around, and the thing that was just crazy is like there wasn't a documented account before this. This is like the first documented account of like whales having vengeance and like it being recorded and written and actual people surviving. And sure, of course, I'm sure this happened more than once, right? It's just no one lived, right? You know, those like sperm whales are massive, and I'm sure there was many accounts of sperm whales, you know, turning and taking out a whaling vessel, but because that crew wasn't as fortunate, we just didn't hear about it. But anyway, so yeah, this is what inspired Moby Dick, and it's just a pretty crazy account. I actually started listening to an audio book of The Heart of the Sea just because of like, you know, it's such a harrowing tale, and it's not glorified by any means, right?
And is that comes from the first mate's accounts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Owens, yep. So,
and was he with the captain?
No,
okay.
he got separated.
Okay.
But I mean, he still ate a couple dudes.
Yeah.
God. But it's just bonkers because like you read stuff like that, and then you like read stuff too about just like the other instances of like real life cannibalism that occurred, and like I don't know, it's ugly, right? It's nasty, but it's also like one of those things that you're like, dude, this is a fact of life. Like this happens in every single one of these scenarios of like true, pure desperation.
Mm-hmm.
And like, there's something to be respected about like people only engage in this behavior in the most unreal, unimaginable, desperate conditions. And so it like when this occurs and it's documented and those guys live to tell the tale and they don't hide it, they're like, yeah, like you should know. It's like because like they also probably respect the dead and understand like this was an awful thing, and you know, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for that final gift they gave me. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I just have a lot of respect for it. I also really enjoyed that. What was it? It was a movie about the Argentinian team, I believe, or Paraguay team that crashed in the Andes, and they had to they had to eat each other to survive. It was a soccer team. Have you never heard of this story?
The soccer team. I've heard bits of it. Yeah.
Oh, dude. It's pretty crazy. And then you have cases like Alfred Packer, where you're like, I don't know. Did he eat people to survive, or did he eat people because he liked the taste? Right.
Yeah. Yeah. You got the weirdos for sure. And then you do have, you know, these cases of just dire, true, pure desperation.
Yeah. And I don't know. I guess it's kind of like one of those things like I would, if I died, bro, if you and I were like stranded and I died, you have 100% permission to eat me to live. And also, I would want you to tell people. I want you to tell people like, yeah, Mick died. Mick, he died not from me clubbing his brains in with a rock. He just was injured, fell sick, and he told me, hey, no hard feelings, but put my leg on that spick, and survive. And I'd want you to tell people that, and like, because I feel like that is still like a very selfless thing to do and recognize in like those scenarios, right?
It's and it's a.
And how else do you pay penance to it?
It's an ethical gray area.
I have no ethical gray area about it. I would eat people for sure.
Like in that case. Right.
In that scenario, without a doubt,
dire need case,
especially if they looked at me and they're like, "I love you. I don't want you to die needlessly. Eat me."
Yeah. To quote the gingerbread man from Shrek,
"Eat me." That's a good job, bud.
Oh yeah. And so, oh my God, the it's
could you do it?
Could I?
What if like it just like, what if I was like, here, I'll pull this shirt over me so you don't have to see it's me.
I know. Would I? No. Could I? Yes. You know. Like,
you don't think you would?
No, I mean, I could, like, I don't know. It's like I'm taking the cop out where it's like, I would never do that.
Yeah.
But I've never been stranded for 3 months on a dinghy.
Watch them like use this podcast as evidence against me in court when they're like, we bet you killed those people to eat them. It's like, no, it's truly desperation. They're like, you said you were looking forward to it.
Oh my goodness. I mean, and I think short of being in some sort of situation like that, there's no room to judge. And also if you actually want to get into some ethical, philosophical, like type of like stuff, and or like if you want to also get into like, and then add like spirituality into it, be like, if you believe it, you're dead, dead's dead. There's nothing like I'd say in a case of like the soul's left the body, this is a vessel, you know, okay. Bro. But then there's also other areas where for other people though, where it'd be like, let's say for someone from like a Muslim faith background where it's like, you kind of gotta be buried whole to make it out on the backside, right? True. So there are like, it depends on where you come from. And
well, and like you can't, of course, eat people if you're Jewish. Like that's a forbidden meat. But you know, Christians.
Is it?
I think to Peter, or was it Peter? Who did God reveal the blanket and say, "Eat, consume"?
Yeah, it was Peter, but it didn't have a.
It said all creatures.
Oh my!
Peter's looking out there. There's some man hams.
Oh my gosh!
Nah, dude, I'm just kidding. No, but like I am one of those things. Like I would be like, it's okay, it's all right. You're given a new body. It's all good. You don't need this one no more.
I mean, I'd be doing some mental gymnastics
For
in the
sure,
moment
for
and
sure.
crying about it. Right?
Yeah.
I'd be like,
I don't know if you'd cry. You'd be so hungry at that point.
oh my gosh.
So thirsty.
So, yeah, no more tears in there. I'd be like, God, I wish that he had eaten healthier throughout his life. Like, all these freaking McDoubles really
There's no ass on this.
tainted the quality of this thing.
That's funny. Yeah, no, I do think it is fascinating, but it's a different thing to me. Like, yeah, it can be morbid, but there's like I don't know. I'll say it's not as fascinating to me when you read about like the people who preyed upon the Western expansion, kind of like pilgrimages, you know, trying to go over the Rockies, and there's like legit groups just like waiting in the winter to eat people in caves.
Right. Like, yeah.
Like that stuff is not as like fascinating to me because I'm like, yeah, that's dark.
Like the dark, depraved stuff.
Yeah. And like, I do want to know about it because like that is a historical thing to just show of like how hard it was at one point and how much our, you know, ancestors came over and conquered to get past that. But like when it's like this one or like, you know, the story of that soccer team, just scenarios where it's like true desperation and selflessness and like people are like it's not an individual choice, but it's a group choice of like, this makes sense and I want you to live and I know I'm not going to. Right. And it's okay. And like, I think like there's just something about that there is a nobility in that. Like there is like, I think a selflessness and honor and integrity.
The sacrifice of that.
Yeah. And you should be in like, that should be told and people should know about it. So anyway, I don't know. Yeah. I don't want to keep on beating a point here, but like, I think that's why it's so fascinating to me.
And it's crazy because we live in a different world now where like I can push a button on my watch.
Food shows up.
Well, no. Like I can push a button on my watch and help shows up.
That's true too.
You know what I mean? Like, and so versus, I mean, there's no one coming, no one knows what's happening. It's just a crazy like world back then in a wild place. And so, you know, we have these resources now and things and where it's, yes, people can still get into really bad sticky situations. Like, but so like the next time something wild like this happens, it's going to have to be on like, you know,
a spaceship
headed to Mars. Yeah. Exactly. Like where it's like they find, you know, one guy still sitting there, but there was a lot more who came with him.
I've seen that movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, like where Houston just starts like, hey, where's a couple of the other crew? Huh? Oh, they're sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, anyways, welcome again to the Make It Pass show. And as of course you could probably tell by the music, this is our holiday episode of gift giving that we do now. Third year of gift exchanging giving. And I think we could probably go over just a couple things that we think are of value to, you know, a little bit of a gift guide for him. I just feel like it's not like it's not going to be like, you know, mind blowing or a revelation of what you could get, but it is going to give you at least some ideas. And especially for anyone who's listening is just not like in the know of like how to save money and things like this for buying gifts for him. There's like a lot of ways to do it and do it wisely and save money and like what you're purchasing and stuff like that, and not just like get taken advantage of by like the quickest like online offer or highest ad paid stuff. So I think a big one is like, of course, I'm looking forward to talking about this, but bullets is something that I hear so many construe of like how expensive it is to order them or buy them for people as gifts or something. And like, it's just because people don't know where to go to get them like bulk for cheap and have free shipping. You know what I mean? So, and we're also not sponsored by like, I think anyone we're talking about here. You can just really go through our Amazon links to, you know, give back to the show for any gifts you get for anyone. But I figured we'd just do a little bit of that. So
for sure.
Anyways, before we do that, you know, Pat, I just wanted to hear how your thankful Thanksgiving was and things like that.
Yeah, no, I just Googled gifts for him. I need to back out.
Yeah. I bet.
Oh my God.
It's lingerie.
Yeah, my God. Anyways, Thanksgiving. No, we great Thanksgiving this year. Just hanging out with my family, my wife's side of the family, and we.
Is that the traditional? Like always with them for Thanksgiving?
We do the flip flop each year.
Same.
Typically, we flip flop it, and it was good. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law came in from out of town, and they, which is good because he used to live with us. He was in town, and she was in town. And then even like before he's married, lived with us, so like super close with him, and been gone for a couple years now. And so it's just awesome. They're back for a week, just hanging out. Like it's fun. Like there is like, they're talking about it last podcast or last time we recorded, but off the podcast, which was like how there can be like people like just tend to regress isn't like necessarily the right word because it sounds negative, but like when you get back in your family dynamic, you kind of go. Oh yeah, we did talk about that. Like people can return, like you're dating someone for like 2 years, and then for the first time ever, you go with them back home, and you see them become like a teenager, just because they're like in their parents' house with their
siblings, and like there's. Like it's just immediate like reset, like
family dynamic.
And you're like, oh wow, like I've never seen you behave this way.
Yeah, and so which is fun because then like me and him, we just like we just make jokes. We have a lot of fun. Just go back to college. Oh yeah, we just mess around and it's great fun. Yeah. And so it was a good time. Thanksgiving this year, lots of little kids running around the house, wild time, and definitely thankful too.
They got any?
Yep, one on the way, and
nice.
So, yeah, it's lots of. It's funny because their little boy.
Is it a little fudge or a little fudgetta?
I don't know yet.
Well, what's about the one that's here?
Oh, the one that's here is a little. It's little fudge.
Little fudge.
Yeah, little fudge also looks like middle Pat. They're like
really?
They're like 9 months apart, and they just run around.
Toe-headed like little Pat?
Yeah, like pretty similar. Well, yeah, pretty similar. Like, look, it's like from behind, you're like, which one is that? Like all week we were like yelling one's name, and it was the other one, and they have tons of fun together.
Did Big Fudge marry a blonde-haired woman?
No.
Isn't Big Fudge brunette?
Yeah, but he was toe-headed as a kid.
Oh, he was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be out.
And it's not full. Not the full blonde either. Like both of them now kind of have like
a little bit of Dustin,
little sandy blonde in there. So, yep. So no, it was a good time, and it was nice to. I mean, I'm always thankful too for like my work. Being a business owner comes with ups and downs, but the nice thing is like when you want to take time off, like you don't have to like request time off. You just you can kind of do it.
It's sick.
So that's still nice. And like as the company grows, I got more like responsibilities, my employees, all that stuff. Like, but I'm able to also like I don't have to put it like write a request, or anything, whatever. So
yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, you did some traveling, or did you keep it local?
We just went down to the in-laws, but my grandfather came out from Michigan and brought the hunting rifles I purchased, and as well as the one he was giving to me.
Oh, nice.
So I just got 3 new guns. Well, quote unquote new. 2 of them are from like the 50s, and they're like primo, high value Mannlicher stock, Steyr and Ruger. And the other one is a hunting rifle that he was giving to me, so I didn't have to pay for that one. And I was just very blessed and privileged to have those, but also he, was there to have Thanksgiving with my in-laws, and my mom joined as well since she's in the Denver area down there. And it was just great that all of us got to be together. And my mom really gets along with my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, and my grandfather and my father-in-law probably have more in common than they don't.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're both big guys in their careers. Like they both have, worked an insane amount of years in a corporate environment for one company. They're both super big ham radio guys.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's just the overlap there of like what they can talk about is endless.
Oh yeah.
It was just really cool to just see them and my grandfather just enjoying his time and having so much, like engagement, you know, and not feeling like there was never really much of a time where I just saw him just sitting and just waiting for, someone to talk to him.
Right.
So, and I just love him. You know, I feel like I just don't get to see him as much because he lives in Michigan and stuff. But it was just a huge privilege and blessing. And everyone gets along. Everyone was like, you know, a couple beers deep, and there was just laughter. You know what I mean? There was no drama or tension. So, yeah, it was a blessing. I was very thankful for it, man. I just looked around at that table. I'm like, I'm thankful that I love my in-laws. I'm thankful that they love me and my family, and like that this is not a burden.
Yeah. It's helpful when you have like good in-law relations, you know, and you can just hang out, have a fun time, and also, and I love like big family events, especially like when I was like little and stuff, like just like to me, Thanksgiving should be as many people as possible.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Like Christmas, like
a little bit
you
quieter.
can shrink it down, like have that Christmas morning, but like I think that the best Thanksgivings are when it's like full bore. Like,
see, I think my in-law family, my wife's side, I think it's the opposite. I think their Christmases are always bigger because people view it as more significant, so they travel out to visit.
Right.
So Christmas is like a whole house full of like the Billie Jeans.
Right.
And Thanksgiving is like less so. Like they're more okay with doing Thanksgiving apart, and like, you know, where the different Billie Jean families, you know, are spread across the country and stuff. It's just one of those things where like I agree with you, but their Christmases are massive. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yep.
No, for sure. That's good. The holiday season is upon us, and I'm enjoying it so far. It's spent we're just in full swing for a little while here, which is nice as winter kicks in to just. It's funny too how this time of year comes faster every year.
It does, man, and I'm starting to freak out a little bit.
Oh yeah,
like I'm trying to comprehend that it's December. November felt long to me, and I think it just felt long because of like, you know, things to do with work and the season changes. And November was like the first time it got actually kind of cold enough that I didn't want to go outside. I also got a dog. But December just being here feels like crazy fast.
Oh yeah, I still think it's 2023.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, we did lose a whole year. But anyways, all that said, things are great. Thankful for a lot. Thanksgiving was good. And you know what, Pat? Even though sometimes when I text you,
I don't
and you don't respond for days. It makes me like feel like there's nails scratching at the back of my brain, and I'm just trying not to lose my shit. And even though, you know, I don't know what else I'm trying to find another reason to complain about you. Despite all that, I'm thankful for you, buddy.
Oh,
and I got you some gifts, and I hope this holiday season you feel appreciated, because I did ball out a little bit.
Oh man.
Now within there's not a new 6R 320 Legion, right, to fix your broken one. Which honestly, I was thinking about that today. I was like, I should have just bought him a new trigger.
Oh yeah, I get that thing looked at.
Dude, I literally have like 5 magazines waiting for you to fix that gun, so I can give them to you and you can actually shoot. That's true. I gotta get it up and running. Our buddy Rice-A-Roni has technically acquired them for us. But anyways, did I purchase your gifts because there were such good deals on these items that I also bought them for myself? Yes, I did. Did I go through this box and hand select what was mine and what was yours? Yes. But still within this box is likely, I'm going to say in the ballpark of, and this is not to put any pressure because I also know that you got me a gift too. It's not about the monetary value. Right? It's not about the monetary value. It's crazy how we canceled each other out last year.
Yeah. Because
we literally got each other just gun props.
We ordered from the same website. If you haven't heard the episode, it was it's these prop guns, but these historical, it's fun. There's these fake guns, but they look real, they feel real. You can play with them, you can pull a trigger.
You can put them on the wall and stuff, and not worry about someone breaking in and stealing a gun.
Yep, and we which is why we got them for the studio.
Yep,
and we which a side note, since I do lease this place, they had to come in to do an inspection the other day.
And you had to hide them.
And I was like, oh my God, we have it looks like we have an arsenal in the office. I was like, I got to put these away.
That's when you just grab this Lamat prop and you just keep on thumbing it and letting the hammer down slowly. And you just keep doing it over and over until they're like, oh, okay. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't harass people with fake guns or real guns.
The sweet lady realtor property manager.
It's honestly how you go to jail.
But yeah, it was funny because we pulled them out and it was the same shaped box, right?
Yeah, that was hilarious. It was I think you opened yours first, didn't you?
Or did we? Because
I had it wrapped up.
They were both wrapped. I think we might have gone same time.
Oh,
because we had Billy. Our guest Billy. I had to look at the board.
Was he here?
Billy was here for that.
When he was talking rock climbing?
Yep. And so he was here for that.
Well, anyways, I do think it's about probably $200-ish.
All right.
Now, I don't know that for the most part, but it's just because I know the order was they it's not going to be one and done and gone.
Super utility gift, a 5-gallon can of gasoline.
Yes.
But that's not really...
That's not a bad gift.
But that's not really what you're after.
Sure. And that might not feel sentimental, but I'll tell you what, bro. If someone got me a 5-gallon can, like a jerry can, I'd be stoked.
Oh, yeah.
Those things are so expensive.
I got you this can, and it's full.
Yeah. Oh, that would be insane.
That's what I was saying. Just like
honestly, yeah. First gift idea. Buy the man in your life a true aluminum jerry can that can stack and has 2 carry handles on it and fill it up with gas and give it to him and be like, oh yeah, by the way, here's some stabilizers.
And put it underneath the tree next to the fire.
Yeah, next to those old vintage LEDs. Not LEDs,
the
vintage
old glass filament
bulbs.
light bulbs.
Anyways. So here's the thing also though. Billie Jean put something in here and I don't know what it is.
Okay.
And it was a gift for the Mick and Pat show.
Oh my goodness.
So no pressure on Mace Windu to give us a gift too, but I guess we'll see what it is. It might suck. What if it's just Billie Jean and it's just literally a receipt for how in the red this podcast is? Just congratulations.
A picture of her face and it's I expect this to be on the table.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
That's true. It could be great.
It's not like we filmed this live. Everything is anonymized, but all right. So I want you. What do you want to do? You want me to open yours first?
Now that you've set it up, I'll get it going. Grab the knife out of the case.
Yeah.
All
no, wait. So... Here. Take my carambit. Just
wow.
Do not cut yourself because it is.
Yeah, that thing looks
super
sharp.
easy to cut yourself.
The old wild knife. The old. Looks like the gas station special, but it's not.
No, dude, that's the Cricket.
I know, dude.
Yeah, I love Cricket. That's a good one.
Cricket is actually my favorite knife company.
I think Spyderco is my favorite just because it's also in Colorado, headquartered. Oh yeah, get that good ASMR package opening. Excuse me.
Shake it. It could be breakable. All right.
So everything in here came from Commando Store, which is spelled with a K. So if you're looking to get your significant other, the man in your life, some cool surplus stuff, things that are cheap but military surplus and not going to break the bank, but cool products, this is where to start. So Okay, you gotta put the box over here so that way I can see, because I don't know.
Right. So here we go. So I'm pulling out. This is.
Okay, whoa, I don't know what that is. That's the Billie Jean gift.
All right, this is
that
a
little
wrapped package. I'm going to save it for a second.
Okay, all right.
All right, so we've got...
This envelope came from Commando Store. They said, sick order, smiley face.
Was this you or this is some...
They wrote that.
So somebody took the time to handwrite with a marker.
Commando Store does that most of the time. They will handwrite in their packages. So we got 2 stickers here, 2 vinyl stickers. One is... Go ahead, tell them, Pat.
We've got... This is it says Commando Store, and this is a C4 bomb. What all we got going on here?
It's a translucent Semtex plastic explosive with a keyboard timer, and it's like a great vinyl to go over just about anything. Go over a locker, go over a car, go over a case.
Lasts for years.
And you'll see why I wanted you to have that one later on. And then what's this other holy one here?
Saint Gosling.
Yeah.
The driver.
So it's Ryan Gosling, sanctified. Like, and he's got like a, I don't know exactly what everything is because I'm not Catholic or Russian Orthodox, but like written all around the perimeter of it is just his best movies of the Gosling. And, I'm a big Gosling fan, and I think you'll also see it why too, because, I see those stickers like that, and I think like those are like the most like perfect, joke of like the beautiful girl that is a picture and you keep it in your cap in the trenches, or like people would literally like have artistic depictions of saints and they would like tape them to their gun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or something like that. So I just felt like that was a good meme one because, we're not Catholic. And I think you appreciate Ryan Gosling, don't you?
I do. I think my favorite character he ever was I don't know his name, but was in Remember the Titans.
He was a good one in that. Yeah.
That's my
he was so young.
Gosling. He's so young.
Yeah. He was like 19 or 20.
For sure. All right. We got some patches. We got this first one says, LOL, said the scorpion, LMAO.
Do you know the story of the scorpion and the frog?
I don't know the story.
Okay, so I also got you this one because it's from Drive.
Okay.
So the story of the scorpion and frog, it's older than the movie, but it's mentioned in the movie. Its significance is a scorpion's on one side of the river, and a frog is in the river, and the scorpion, of course, can't get in the water or else it'll drown. And the frog says, "Hey, come on in, swim over," and the scorpion says, "No, I will surely drown." And the frog says, "Well, I'll let you get on my back, but you have to promise not to sting me. Because if you sting me, we'll both drown." The scorpion says, "Of course, I would never sting you because we would both drown." So the frog says, "All right, hop on." And halfway across swimming, what does the scorpion do?
Can't help himself.
Stings the frog. The frog says, "Why? Why have you done this? Now we will both die and drown." And the scorpion says to the frog, "It's in my nature. What did you expect?"
Yeah.
And this story, of course, is a story to say, like, be careful in what you expect. If you bring a wolf into your house, you cannot be mad at the wolf if it bites you, right? It's like you got to respect what the nature of things are.
Oh, yeah.
It's so overblown and like badass, bad boy, culture.
Yes.
And it's quoted on so many things that it's become cringe.
So now they're making.
So now this was better. Yeah, it just shows a scorpion on the back of a frog, and it's LOL, said the scorpion, laughing my ass off. I just think like it. I think that's a great patch.
I think
and it's like patch. There's also nothing more cringe than like a motto patch on someone that like has never done anything motto. You know what I mean? So that's a good one. I feel like you could go on your plate carrier. You don't have to worry about looking cringy.
I agree. Like this next one, it's just fact checker.
Yeah, like why have a stupid call sign like Punisher when you could just have a like identifier on the back of your plate carrier, so everyone looking at the back of you knows what to call you, and your title is fact checker.
Yeah, or like saying like law enforcement.
Yeah, nothing's cringier than like when you're on the range and you got your vest and like someone sees that you have a law enforcement patch.
No, for sure. So it's I like it.
Yeah,
it's good because then it takes the wind out of the sails of those people. It's going to make people reevaluate their decision making.
I think I've told you mine. I have one that's just called Silly Goose.
Yeah,
and I'm like, no better way to just like, even if I'm doing something badass, People will appreciate it. If I'm doing something where it's not badass and I look like a dork,
yeah.
Well, of course I look like a dork. I'm a silly goose.
Because you got to make a little fun of yourself.
Yeah.
The amount of money we spend.
There's no room for ego at the range.
The amount of accessories we buy.
Yeah.
The amount of time we spend talking about the what ifs.
For real.
If you can't also take a second to be like, I'm not a MACV SOG operator. I never will be. I never was.
If you can't admit that you're an enthusiast, then like you got some ego stuff.
Exactly. For sure. Next one, classic catchphrase. I'd rather be fishing.
Bro, do you recognize the hat on that little guy?
I recognize the height of the hat.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt like I don't know if Pat would really wear this hat ever. Pat, I haven't really seen you wearing meme stuff other than hockey jerseys to church.
This is a trucker's hat that is 3 times the size.
And I love
of
it.
The height.
I wear it out.
It's like a 10-gallon hat.
I wear it to the range. Yeah. But I figured you would wear the patch of a little guy fishing with the hat on.
Oh, definitely. I like it. I would rather be fishing.
And you could throw it on I think there's Velcro stuff on fly rod cases, isn't there?
Oh yeah, this is this might go on the gear, on the old fishing gear. All right, we've got some
No, pick up that mask. Pick up the fucking mask. This
will get you jail time.
Bro, so I saw this available at Commando Store. Did you see the new Batman with Robert Pattinson?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is the green mask that the Riddler wore in that movie, which is actually a Soviet issued anti-freeze. Like it's a cold weather mask, so that way you can wear it and be warm, but still see and still talk and breathe without fogging anything up.
Oh my gosh, this is hilarious! And
now, the only thing
you can unbutton it to blow your nose.
Yeah, or unbutton it to kiss each other. We could kiss right now.
Yeah, you can open the mouth. Maybe that's for eating more than kissing.
Can you do me a favor though? My melon is so big. Can you put it on? Can you put it on, bro? Because I could not put it on. My head is too big.
Okay, for some more, if you
look
took
up Soviet cold weather mask.
If you took Russian mask meets luchador
and BDSM, like the GIMP, for real.
Oh, it's so. I gotta take the headphones off. Here we go. All right, here we go.
Dude, this is awesome.
Oh my gosh. I don't know, bro.
Billie Jean can definitely sew and extend those straps if need be. I think it's gonna fit over you. Oh my gosh, dude, that looks like a glove.
It smells like the Army Navy surplus. Wait, was that kind of muted? Do I need to?
No, you sound great. Oh yeah. I think you should open the flap.
Where's that?
It opens the flap when it talks to me. It
All
opens
right,
the flap. Wow, look at it's unsettling because it really is just your red lips puckering through the box. All right, I gotta take a picture.
Oh my gosh, this is
great though. No one will know who you are even if we post this.
It's so hard to get on. It truly does fits perfectly. Will I be wearing this to lead worship next Sunday?
Only if it's
probably not.
Like As I Lay Dying songs.
Oh my gosh. This is
bro, you look gnarly. Does it feel too tight?
No, once you get it on, it feels right.
It feels snuggy. Bro,
but
dude,
I think I should wear this skiing.
That's the thing. Yeah, like it's designed for cold weather. And like you could wear goggles without fogging up, but here you go, just so you know what you look like.
Oh my gosh.
And there you go.
I look like the Riddler.
It's honestly like I would not recognize you, bro. You put that on, you don't look like yourself at all.
That is disturbing. That is a rowdy mask.
I think you should wear that for the next hunt, bro. I think that will let everyone know how serious you are and how long you're willing to wait out there in the sticks.
Hey, I'm willing to wait. And this I like it.
Okay. All right. Cool. I give you permission to take it off.
Thank you.
As your master. Uh-oh. There you go.
It's barbed under my...
Wow. That is unreal how much it changes like what I perceive your face to be.
There's a button.
Yeah, there's buttons on the buckles.
Oh, that makes it way easier to get it on your head.
Yeah. I just wanted to watch you struggle though. I couldn't get it on my head, dude. My head is too big.
There's a button. That makes it easier. Oh my gosh. I started to panic that it wasn't coming off. All right, we got the mask.
It's like the actual Jim Carrey, the mask.
Oh yeah. All right, we've got some what appears to be tape.
Now, but look at it.
It's fancy tape.
It's non-adhesive tape. It adheres to itself, and it's what's known as Khyber pass tape. And if you look this up, look up in your Googles real quick, Khyber, Kybar pass, which is a mountain pass in I believe Iraq that became famous during Iraqi freedom. But this tape is used often to tape significant firearms to have a certain flair and flavor and recognition and personalization to it without actually damaging the firearms furnishing. And a lot of people, what was very common is like Iraqi troops would tape pictures of Saddam Hussein on the stocks of their firearms.
Okay.
It taped this over. But also the troops that were supported by the U.S. would be taping things like pinup girls and U.S. stickers and things like that, and collected in memorabilia. And you could see, if you look up Khyber Pass taped AKs and firearms, you can see like they're legitimately like a story of this person, like what they believe, what they find funny, what they hold dear.
Because the tape is see-through. It's
tape
different
is
colors,
translucent.
but it's translucent, and so stuff shows through it. And
it's very grippy.
And it adds a grip to it, which also, like, there's also people who are using it on their tools.
Yeah.
Throwing it on their hammers, on their drill bits.
Yeah,
it's cool stuff.
So I bought that one as a 5-pack of different colors, and I also got myself a St. Gosling sticker, and I think we should just pick, like, you know, the jankiest or, like, you know, whatever guns we want, and just tape our St. Goslings on the stocks. You know what I mean? Or something.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know. It's cool. I haven't used it at all, but I thought it'd be fun, and it allows that flair. And I mean, and you and I think we've talked about our firearms. Like, we have our firearms that we're like, hey, this is a queen, and this will not be, you know, there will not be a speck of mud that gets on this gun. And then we have our other firearms where we're like, this thing is a meme, and it's okay for this thing to have goofy stuff on it.
Definitely. And this tape is sweet. Also, like, I'd say too, like, for the queen also, if you want to protect
if you're
something,
willing.
well, I'd say willing, but it'll protect it too. Like,
It probably will. I mean, I bet if you put it over like a wood foregrip, like if you put it over the wood stock or foregrip of a hunting rifle, I bet it would leave like a weird looking wear.
It could leave some
like a sunning, you know what I mean?
For sure, but this is like a 7 mil thick like tape. That's some serious business.
So I thought that'd be cool. And I also thought, just because you're more of a blue collar handyman than I, you could also personalize some stuff to make sure like new guys aren't freaking grabbing your tools.
That is a rule in my shop, which is
you can grab those hammers, not the hammer that has, you know, a picture of like Saddam Hussein taped around the handle. Okay.
Exactly. And I do and what I do here at the shop is I make guys say, like, you have to tape, or like you have to tape your tools, because I provide tools. And so I'm like, if it's your tool, you tape it. Not by your tool, I mean, it's still my tool, but
yeah, it's like you bought it, you own it, it's the company's, but
if it's the one that you want to keep to you, you better tape it. And especially if it really is your personal, like you bought it tool, you got to tape it up. And I was like,
because it'll get mixed in.
Well, because here's the rule, just straight up. This is like blackjack. The house always wins. If there's no tape and it's not labeled,
it's mine.
It's mine. Exactly. That's what I tell every guy. So it's like tape measures, whatever, especially like little things that always are walking off. So I like it. The Khyber tape. All right, here we go next. Going with this one.
All right, open that up. It's a big one.
We've got a...
It's a flag, but it's packaged up and folded. This is something I really thought you'd appreciate and would love to hang up here or down in the warehouse.
It appears to be some... is this Japanese or Korean?
That's a little racist. How about you turn the flag around?
All right, there we go.
Do you know whose flag the blue and red Pepsi sign?
Pepsi is Korean.
It's Korean. It is South Korean.
Yeah.
Now, let me hand it to me, and I'll hold it up. You can tell me if you recognize the silhouette. Make sure it rubs against your microphone as much as possible.
It's a it's a man holding a weapon. Silhouette.
I want you to look up Rodney King Riot's Rooftop Korean.
Okay, yeah. All right.
It's the silhouette
It's
of
him.
the Rooftop Korean. And in Korean, it essentially says something like along the lines, I can't remember exactly. I'd have to look up the product description.
Mm-hmm.
But it has, for those of you at home who, of course, don't know what we're talking about, it's a flag with the South Korean colors behind it and the silhouette of the infamous Rooftop Korean photograph.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Korean on it literally says something along the lines of like, fuck around and find out.
Mm-hmm.
Which, for those who don't know, Korean's Rodney King, Koreatown was essentially abandoned in Los Angeles during the Rodney King race riots. And police stopped responding to a ton of calls. And because their businesses were being looted and people were being hurt, the Koreans of Koreatown banded together, grabbed their firearms, and they started hanging out on their rooftops. And they would just shoot at any car that started coming in too quick.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially just creating like, a checkpoint, right, that we have on our modern military
Mm-hmm.
bases, right? And they would give warning shots, and if that car kept on coming, it was free game.
Mm-hmm.
And the police didn't even go in there to like charge anyone or traffic anyone because the police knew, one, they were outmanned, didn't have the manpower. And the gangs themselves said, hey, leave Koreatown alone because they will kill us.
Right.
And it's like, we cannot stand up. Like they are squared away.
Yep.
And so the Rooftop Koreans are a classic example of like the Second Amendment for immigrants.
Yep.
And locals in a situation where law enforcement was not coming to help them. Law enforcement actively abandoned them.
Mm-hmm.
And they were able to take that and protect the community. And I don't think there was a report of like an actual like killing. They got into some insane shootouts. You can see these videos on YouTube of like the Rodney King riots and the Roof Koreans and some insane gunfire exchanges with some gangs. But I think all the gang members just kept on running away and no one was actually killed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about it. It's been years since I've read the actual like documentary reports on it. But all that said, just an excellent example of the Second Amendment going to good use. And it's a beautiful flag, ain't it?
It's sweet.
Isn't
I
it
like
beautiful?
It's sweet looking. And what I like too about it is just, like you said, the biggest things about it were like, whenever it comes to whenever I see pictures of those guys on the rooftops protecting their stuff,
Cigarettes hanging out of their mouth.
yeah, it's just
glasses. They look like such peaceful people.
Yeah, they're not like, they're men who have been pushed to do what they have to do. They don't want to do this, but it's happened. Now they're gone down into the basement. They got their stuff out of the drawer and it's time to do what they have to do. They don't want to do it, but they're going to do it, and they're going to protect their stuff. They're going to protect their within their rights. And it's just, wherever you stand on, the riots or whatever, but, listen, you don't get to just take people's stuff and ruin their livelihood.
You don't just get to make victims out of a whole community.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Anyways, next thing.
All right, I think is this the might be the final. There might be another thing, but I think this is the final piece of the puzzle.
Now, you're looking at it. Say a multicam, rectangular shape with some buckles.
Yes.
Do you know what it is? Already.
I was trying to see if does it open.
It does a little bit.
Well, it does, but
there's
supposed to open. Like, is it supposed to be
You can open
open
it and look in there. What's in there?
It feels like there's some foam.
Some dense foam?
Yeah, dense foam. Is this dense foam supposed to be replaced with a different piece of something?
That is not body armor.
All right, okay.
I want you to stand up.
All right.
Look at the buckle going across it horizontally.
Oh, yeah.
And unbuckle that one.
It's a
and then now
crotch pad.
Put it behind you on your keister.
Oh, is this
and wrap that buckle around to the front.
Oh, this keeps you warm.
It's a butt pad.
Yeah, dude.
It's a butt pad, so that way you can sit your ass on a rock and hold position for a long time.
Yeah, dude, this is sweet.
And then the vertical buckles buckle into whatever backpack or plate carrier you got on the back end.
That'll keep you. Here's the deal.
Tell me that that's not all like actually a very cushiony pad.
No, it's great because first of all, you want to be dry. Like the first issue is dryness, and so this covers that, and then you want to be comfy, then you want to be dry, and then warm, and then comfy.
These are apparently like the surplus ones coming out of the Ukraine-Russia war.
Oh yeah,
because Eastern comm block vehicles are renowned for being so uncomfortable to ride in and breaking tailbones when they hit bumps.
Oh my God.
That everyone is wearing these over there.
Okay.
But now, of course, are we going to be in Eastern comm block uncomfortable vehicles and technicals? No, of course not. But I put mine on and I did like sit for quite a while. And I recognize immediate difference in like my ability to be in a like essentially like a still reconnaissance position or just a hunting position.
That's what I was gonna say, because
posture
when you're elk hunting out there in the snow.
Yeah, bro.
And I bring a butt pad with me, but it's in my bag. I gotta pull it out. And if you had something that was kind of like,
dude, you don't have to do anything.
Easy to flop down.
It's buckled to your bag.
Yeah, you just sit down and you're protected. You could hang out for a lot longer.
Yeah.
I like it. That's awesome.
All right, let's open the Billie Jean one.
All right, here we go. This is about a 3x3 square.
Yeah.
Says to Mick and Pat from Billie Jean. And got to be careful with it because I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is. She, of course, talked it down. And she's like, it's not like crazy or anything. And I was like, okay, whatever.
All right.
Oh, what is this?
Oh, wow. On first take, it appears to be some kind of bandana or flag or like a.
I think I know where she got it from.
Let's see.
All right, it says sound of a good time. Sendero Provisions. Oh yeah, okay, right. So Sendero is a company we found. Oh, look at it. It's like cracking a beer open.
Yep.
And it's Skeleton Cowboys. Wow, that's sick. Spirit of the West, Soul of the Wild. Sendero is this company we found. It's who makes this hat, actually. It's Triceratops Wrangler. And they just make a lot of sick graphic design, 2-tone, 3-tone illustrations for, I don't know, just like kind of modern Western wear. And we just been loving it and buying stuff from them a lot. You should check them out, Sendero.com. They're not a sponsor, but we love their stuff and the designs they make. And it's pretty high quality. And that is...
That's cool. It's a cool bandana.
Bitchin'. Yeah.
And it fits the vibe of the Mick and Pat show.
Well, especially because it's got like those bolts that are, of course, like radio waves.
Yep.
And then there's the crack. That's kind of radio waves.
Yep.
That's pretty sick. That's pretty sick.
I like it.
Dude, we got 2 things to hang up now.
It's a fit.
2 more things to add.
It's a fit.
Wow, dude. Pretty dope. Overall, Pat, how do you feel? Do you feel known?
I feel good. No, I feel like I got some sweet stuff. I'm excited to, also because I feel like some of these things I got like with like the patches. Now it's like, now I gotta like, I feel like I gotta go get my crap together.
Yeah.
But like, but in a good way, it's like, I gotta
figure out where these patches go.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta get it all going. It's sweet. Always love surplus stuff. And, I don't know how often I'll wear the mask. But I will.
Well, that one was more of like a, that one was more, I mean, I respect the privacy of and intimacy of marriages, right? And I have no need to know. But like, it is one of those things of like, you never know when you're going to be like car broken down, freezing your ass off. Like, I got to walk.
Exactly.
I got to have 30 miles. And you're like, oh my God, that mask, that's a total meme is in my trunk.
Here's one time I definitely will use it. And I've been waiting for this moment. I still have to wait years and years, but when my boys get into airsoft someday, I've decided I'm going to just go all out on all this stuff.
You're going to traumatize them?
Yeah, because I'm just going to have all the nice, cool stuff.
They'll tell their friends at school, they're like, yeah, my dad was like normal dad. And then he bought us airsoft guns, and then he changed.
Exactly. And it's like when we go out like with their friends, like in Timmy's out there, and then all of a sudden Timmy, like especially like the kids who don't follow the rules.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
They call their hits.
Yeah, Exactly. So
Little
like,
shit.
yeah. So anyways, like I've seen this kid get hit 4 times and he hasn't responded.
Yeah.
Guess who's coming out of the woods now?
Exactly.
Me in this freaking mask.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm going to get after him. So
I love
no,
it.
but I think all this stuff's sweet. I'm looking forward to putting it to some use because there's practical use and fun use.
Mm.
So I like to be able to like also like as a adult now, like it's good to get gifts that encourage you to have fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I think that's the kind of the whole thing when you reach kind of a certain age, you recognize it's like not everything needs a purpose, but it's awesome if it has a purpose and it's fun.
For sure.
But all right, man, I'm reaching in here into this bag.
So
What do I do? Do I reach in? Do I look in first?
I think you can, there's one piece of tissue paper. So you can just pull the tissue paper and then you can, for this gift, just
should I like feel around first so I can take a guess? Feels ropey. Oh, what is that? Kind of a hollow barrel.
If you can't guess, I'm glad. Do you want to guess before you pull it out?
I feel smooth, like softer fabric strap of some kind.
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of worried. Something more metallic and a round knob. This is really funny to you, bro. Maybe not metallic, hard plastic and a round knobbish. Round knobbish, then a barrel, and a rope, and a loop.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm pulling it out.
All right.
What if I don't know what it is? Will you be hurt? Will your feelings be hurt if I actually have no idea what this is?
I'll be even more excited. That's
okay,
fine.
All right, okay.
All right, he's
Hold
unveiling it.
Hold on. All right. So it's definitely threaded paracord, some kind of harness thing. Oh wait, okay, wait. Hold on. Is this a duck call?
Yeah.
Oh, because we're going duck hunting.
There you go.
Okay, all right, sick, bro. Okay, what do I do? What did I do?
Okay, don't lose the top part.
Don't lose
Don't
that
lose
thing?
the reed. Just grab that and put it back on. He folded out and immediately took it all the way apart.
Bro, how was I supposed to know what it is just by feeling it blindly?
Well,
because I've never been duck hunting.
That's fine.
Am I good? Did I do it right?
Good. You're good now.
All right. How do I give it the call? Do I put this on?
All right. So I'll show you. So you put it around your neck. There you go. So it's a neoprene neck brace with the lanyard for you got your duck calls.
Okay.
You got a duck call on there, and then you also have a pintail whistle or a 6-in-1 whistle. So
6-in-1?
That's what. Well, I mean, because you can do a lot of stuff with the little whistle.
This one?
Yep.
Okay.
And then the duck call is just so I'm gonna give it a little toot. That's actually not bad right there. A little ducky marshy sounds.
Hey, I got a turkey call, and I realized it's all in the subtlety of the turkey call that I inherited from a box. So what else do you do with this? Do you tap it? Do you thumb it? What do you do?
There's a bunch of different noises you can make with that. Yep. So that's a Drake whistle or a 6-in-1 whistle or a pintail whistle.
Hell yeah.
You can make a couple different sounds of that. And then the other call is just a classic.
Is this what made Duck Dynasty? This one?
Nope, not that one. But it is it's a good beginner call. Because here's the deal. I'll tell you this too. Like, you don't get to use this for like a year. You have to practice.
You have to practice
a lot before you're allowed to use it when we're live.
Yeah,
and this one's the duck call.
Which one which end do I put my mouth in?
That side.
Okay.
Yep. And so give it your first instinctual.
Am I lipping it like a cigar, or am I blowing on it like a trumpet? Do lips go in or around?
Around.
Yeah, I bet.
A little bit. Well, yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You're looking at me like I'm a dork.
No, I thought you were about to give it a natural. All right.
A little bit more?
A little more. Now say woot woot. All right, you're getting closer. We got Well, so that's a hen mallard call. That's the hey sexy come over here call.
Oh.
So I'll do you want me to show you the? So here, let me see it,
Yeah.
and I'll give you the call. So
Show me,
Mr. Mixon want to get into the
show
waterfowl
me,
hunting.
Master Jedi.
And so we'll try to not. So that Drake whistle he was on. So you can do little like teal, like
Dude, Paul's gonna love this.
you can also. Pretty
Is that like a humming while you blow?
Yeah, and so like that's like you've probably kind of heard that. Maybe you've heard that in like a marsh before, like in a movie before. You've kind of heard that.
Yeah, what bird is that?
It's actually a Drake mallard.
Drake mallard. Okay.
That's so like a greenhead duck makes that noise. Then you have your duck call. Try not to blow out the mics, but you got.
Oh wow. Whoa, dude. That's crazy. People are not going to think that's real. People are going to think you put in sound effects.
So that's the duck call.
How much of that is the method of blowing versus the way
The
it
hand?
farts on your hand?
The hand, it's the hand is just accent, but it's like the.
See, all right, you're not putting your lips around it though. You're putting your lips against it like a trumpet.
Well, it's your bottom lip. So you're not going like all the way in the mouth.
So you let me just like mouth that thing like a cigar, and you were just like, yeah,
No.
all right, whatever.
Well, I just want to see like your first natural, thing. So it. But your bottom lip is under, your top lip's over, and so you have these. Anyways, these are your two like most basic like duck calls. You can do a lot with them.
Okay.
And you can see if you can get the ducks to come. And what's awesome is like ducks are a very responsive animal to calls, and so it's super fun.
Like
super
I
cool
can go to like just the park and practice this.
That's how I.
Is that legal?
It's totally legal. You can just sit there, and what I do is I sit there and listen to the ducks, and then try to make the same noises as them, and then just that.
Dude, that's like uncanny how accurate that is.
And so, and like I'm a average caller, right?
Sure.
So there's some guys who really like get the
whispers,
the whispers, and there's competition calling, which is like, so I'd say this. It's like because this hen mallard call that I was just doing. That's like you're trying to call in the ducks, like, hey, big boy. This is where you.
Hey,
exactly.
Come over here.
Yeah,
I'm a female duck.
Yeah, so
is there a word for female ducks?
Hen.
Hens.
Yeah,
Okay.
hens and drakes. So Drake is boy, hens is girls, and I do the like, hey, potential missionary, and then the competition callers are like. I
don't think ducks can do missionary.
No, but then the competition callers are like Pornhub screaming,
I get what you're saying.
like so
like
anyways,
you were like, hey,
yeah,
good, tried and true over here. Nothing. This is what it is.
Yeah,
and then like the competition callers are like, this is a fantasy.
Yeah, this
is not real.
Exactly.
If you come over here, you're an idiot for believing in it in the first place.
Oh yeah. Like the competition caller made all these noises and things, coming out of their mouth.
Sick as hell.
So anyway,
bro.
so this is like your intro to waterfowling the duck world. Wanted to get you your first duck call and a lanyard to go with it.
I genuinely think like that. This right here was nothing I have ever given any thought to, and I recognize now that this is probably more likely to get me to go do it than even getting like a new gun.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
right.
It's all of a sudden like I just feel like I realized now it's in my grasp, and everything else like everything else is secondary, but like I don't know, it's pretty sick, dude. Thank you, man.
So there's some hunting gear. It's and what I love about waterfowl and duck hunting in the call in particular, I wanted to get you because there's a couple other pieces of gear I thought about. But the cool thing about the call is how it's such a what I love about duck hunting is it's such an interactive, sport and hunt. And so talking to the ducks, getting them to come in. And so that's where, a duck call is, it's just cool. It's wild. The first time, you do, the ducks flying by, they're going away from you, and you toot that call the right way, and they turn around and come back to you. You're like, oh my God, I just made this wild animal just came back to me.
Yeah.
Doesn't work every time.
Sure.
But when it does, it's awesome. And whether it's your first time or your 50th time, it's just, you're excited when the ducks turn. So if I want to get into it, I think that'd be a fun, piece of hunting gear.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that is like the thing though, too, is like immediately when I recognized what it was, I just had like that triggering thought in my brain. I was like, wow, like this is like a cool new experience because like I didn't even put like 2 thoughts into getting this. You know what I mean? Like, cause I guess like every time I've gone hunting with someone for like coyotes or even shadowed, like what they were doing, they've always had all the calls, and I'm just there to kind of either be in support, or whatever. And so I just think that's pretty sick, dude. And it feels, I don't know, feels purposeful. Like it feels like I said, it feels like now I'm really motivated to go do it. And like, I feel like I could contribute. Now, like you said, though, I recognize it takes practice to build that skill. And that's and it's probably not helpful for me to come out and just start blowing on it. Right.
And that's actually also why I got it for you. Cause it's a cool, like, rite of passage. The duck call is a rite of passage and the blind. So it's like, hey, you fudge, give them the duck call. Exactly.
Like that's a big thing.
When you finally are like the guy who's like in charge, like there's a hierarchy in the duck blind. There's a guy in charge usually, or depending on your friends, there's someone who's like, okay, like making the call on the shots or calling the ducks. And like, so it's
you ever biff it? Like you ever get like, someone's like, hey, Pat, give him the call. And you're
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. All the time.
That's
all
so
the
funny.
Time. Whether either like,
what's that feel like?
Operator error.
Yeah.
Just like totally messing it up, or like you've been sitting too long and there's like spit in there, and so it's like frozen, and you'll be like, oh wow. And so then the call, instead of being that duck call, be like, and you're like, and then there they all go, and so you mess it up. But
it's funny.
But what the cool feel. So what I think too is, and like every time all the new guys, we all have duck calls, and it's funny too because like whenever I start calling, somebody else wants to toot on it, and it's like, not time yet. Like you haven't like done the thing, and I think
put your call down, boy.
Exactly. And so then I think that people in the world we live in, there's like this thing to be like, oh, like in all areas of the world we live in, not just like duck hunting or something. It'd be people are like, everybody gets to play, all inclusive, everybody all the time, same level playing field. It's like it's okay to actually be like, there's a caste system. Not in like big areas of life, but in certain places it's okay to be like, listen, there's a hierarchy, there's a chain of command, and you get to earn your way into that spot. And if you'd given that spot day one, it'd be worth nothing. But when it's year 2 of duck hunting and you're like getting to do it now, that's way more special.
Yeah, for sure, without a doubt. And it's like, I think like the equivalent for like people who aren't hunters and stuff is like, who's carving the turkey at Thanksgiving? Who's wearing the Santa hat on Christmas Day?
Right.
Who is saying the prayer before dinner?
Exactly.
Like I will, I know for a fact that like those are things that like in my family and other families I've seen are steeped in tradition. And like it's a rite of passage to be given that opportunity. I remember I still remember the first time I really felt like my grandfather trusted me with like praying for like the big family Thanksgiving. And I was like, oh, okay.
And it was his right.
Yeah.
But then he said, hey, Mick, can you bless the food?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's special, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just like all of a sudden you're just like, hey, Peepaw, this year it's up to me.
Hey, old man, how about you hand it over?
Exactly. Like, no, it's like, it's a rite of passage. It's a thing. Yeah. It's a way to show somebody that I trust you. You've done what you need to do. You've got this, And so that's what I love about the duck call too, is like, it's Great piece of hunting gear, super cool. Something you can work on, something you can practice, but also it's a little bit of and being given your first duck calls rite of passage, as well as like the first time you get to be like, all right, like call with us, let's call them in, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, you know, and I'm saying this, man, in all sincerity, like not blown smoke, but I do feel, I don't know, what's the word? Maybe not privilege, but I just feel considered.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like this takes forethought, like, and especially hearing you explain it, like recognizing, like, okay, like, yeah, like this is going to take time and investment on my end to practice with it, and this is a symbolic investment of you saying, hey, here it is, practice with it, because one day I'm going to tell you to use it. When you're coming on a hunt. So I think I appreciate that a lot, dude. And I look forward to it. Now, I'll say this too. I was thinking about this more and more because so many of our friends have had such successful hunting outings this year that I'm just like, bro, I don't even care about bringing my gun or having the ticket for it, right? The tag for it. I mean, I just want to go.
Yeah.
Like, and just keep, like, shadow people, right? Because I'm just like, everyone had such success this year, I feel like, of like our circle.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, I was so envious of like some of those picks, and I was like, wow, man, some guys really like got away with like the deer and the elk in one year, and they're getting ducks and they're getting pheasants. And then Paul's in here just like freaking Sleeping Beauty, Snow White. Every animal comes to his beck and call whenever he wants. But anyways.
No, for sure. For sure. And I think it's hunting is a sport that's been growing and growing the last handful of years too. And it's a cool thing. It's a good way to connect with the way we subsisted for a very long time. And nowadays we get to do it in Gore-Tex with incredible firearms and apps on your phone that help you and stuff. But at the same time, it's still like, it's one of those ways that you really connect with, you know, how we got around, how we did stuff. And, you know, not to take away from like other outdoors things, you know, like people love to hike and camp and backpack, but like part of me is always like, that's cool, bro. But you know why people used to do that? To get to their next place or to
next meal
or their meal. Like, it's just like, to me, like backpacking is fine, but I'd rather backpack to hunt. You know, hiking is fine. But I'd rather hike to hunt, or, you know, like that sort of stuff. So I think that hunting is the pinnacle of outdoorsmanship. And other people would disagree maybe, but at the same time, like it is the like, and back to our conversation about like animals and man's relationship to them, like we take their life, we subsist off of it, you know, and people have problems with that. But at the same time, like hunting is a way that you can show an animal ultimate respect for their existence. I think there's certain animals that exist to be eaten because like they taste so good. But, you know, and so it's like I do believe that man has dominion over creatures. Yeah. And with that comes responsibility. And so we're responsible for how we take care of them, how we manage them, and they are ours to have and to take care of. And part of that having is eating them sometimes, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, that kind of almost, you know, I'm making a little bit of a leaping connection here, right? But that goes full circle to like what we opened up about, right? The whaling industry. And, you know, that was before crude oil had been pulled up from the earth. And when countries ran off of whale. Yeah. And a lot of people just don't recognize that. And what we do know today, though, is that there's less whales and that it requires stewardship.
Might have overdid it.
And there's no reason to hunt them. Like there wasn't much sport in it in the first place, probably. Like it's not fishing. Like a lot of people from like what I understand about looking into whaling and all that, there was at times, yeah, of course, in human history, right, where people hunted whales to subsist and provide.
Yeah.
But can you imagine how you'd feel about duck hunting if it was industrialized?
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? Like it would take all essence of what the meaning is in outdoorsmanship out of it. And like we see that today, like it requires stewardship, you know, it requires responsibility. So I guess, I don't know. I hear what you're saying, man. And I'm excited. I'm really excited. I guess Billie Jean's going to hate this, but I'm going to have to buy another shotgun.
Hey, just might have to, because I've said this before on the show. We talk about all these dope ass guns.
Oh yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I've used one gun more and killed more things with one gun more than any of the other ones. And that's a Remington 870 shotgun that cost me $350.
Yeah. I mean, it's like cheaper than an Xbox sometimes.
Yeah.
You get a good sale.
Yeah.
Right. And I think like a lot of that too is like there's this idea of, you know, whatever people hear about hunting or the depiction of it, but it is like a part of stewardship, you know, and it's one of those things that I think is like necessary for sure. And for some people, I mean, you look at like that one tribe in Africa, gosh, I'm forgetting the name, I'm blanking on it, but they okay.
Sorry. Those ones, the ones that run them down.
Well, they run them down and they hunt, and they like their whole lifestyle is based on like moving and like hunting, and it's like a part of a necessity in their life. And so like there's a place for it, but even them, like, you know, like they have this like apparatus of like, it's about a balance and stewardship. And it's also like, you know, we have to sometimes hunt down other things to keep the balance. And that is going back to what you said, like animals are under the dominion of man and require responsibility. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to partake in that responsibility and stewardship. And I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm stoked for going on duck hunts and, you know, shadowing you guys. And then, I don't know, a couple, maybe a year or two, get to make my call.
Get to toot on the call for sure. And they're called the Hadzabe tribe.
Hadzabe,
They run them down in Tanzania, for sure, man. So yeah, we'll have to basically that. So the hunt, it's a, you know, what I got here was it's a lanyard, and there's room for calls on it, which is fun too. So if you saw there's space. So there's all sorts of other calls you get to get over the years and put on there. But what you do is hang it on your rearview mirror, and for a year in your car, whenever you're thinking about it, throw it on, practice calling, ching, 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 and then throw it back up. And so you keep it in your car, practice calling a lot, go sit by a pond with some city ducks, listen to them and try to mimic them. And then someday you get to do the real thing. Yeah.
Well, before we sign off, we should give a shout out to our gift giving guide. So if you skip to the end here, it's our gift giving guide, right? And we'll timestamp it and all that. But my gift giving guide for the man in your life, whether that's a son, a husband, a father, it's simple, because I think about it in like most men have some kind of depreciation, right? Whether that is toilet paper, dude wipes, whether that's fishing line. And so my first suggestion is to get someone like dude wipes, because dude wipes, especially for, you know, that young man in your life who's starting to want to step out and like do more camping or more outdoorsmanship. He's gonna have a moment where he's gonna be like, okay, now what do I do, because I'm in the woods and I gotta clean up. Dude wipes, man, they're so usable, and they break down.
I think they're actually flushable.
Well,
like, don't do a lot of them, but they deteriorate way faster than all the other wipes I've ever seen.
And if you read them, Dude Wipes tells you one flushable. Like, you use one and flush it.
Yeah.
And it can break down, and out in the outdoors it does break down too. So like, it's a great thing to just have in the car. It's add it to the car kit, right? For your son who's just got his car, and you're like, hey, you may find yourself needing to go potty on a road trip. You're going to be very thankful for these. So check out Dude Wipes. They have them. They have like the gentle skin ones. They have them in different scents, and they, the feeling is refreshing. And so those are a great one. The next one I would say is, I don't have a specific brand, but if you know that person who loves to fish, right? Get them fishing line, like good fishing line, because they might have old broken one from a rod they inherited, right? That's cracked, and yellowed from the sun. They can always use more, or check out some, like, specifically if they like to fly fish, get them a few flies, or even better, give them the kit that provides them the means to build their own and make it a hobby of twining their own fishing lines. Sorry, not fishing lines, fishing lures. I think that's a great gift. I don't fish, but I know a lot of people who do.
Yeah.
And they're always looking for a new lure or a new one to like craft them their own for their own like use and purpose. The last one I'm going to kind of put on here, and this is specific, but check out Freedom Munitions. Freedom Munitions, they make ammo and they remanufacture ammo from brass that's like sent into them. And they have, because of shipping on ammo, it has to be shipped via ground. It has to be labeled as ammo. It can be expensive. But Freedom Munitions has a policy where if you order $200 worth of ammo, no matter the caliber, it's free shipping, which is excellent because that's just enough ammo for them to go out and practice and have some left over for, whatever purpose they're going to use it for, like hunting. And the free shipping is a godsend because I was looking around. I was buying my father-in-law ammo for Christmas, and a lot of places had good deals on ammo, but the shipping was like $96.
Oh, dang. Because
of the weight and the labeling and all that, and the insurance on it. And so Freedom Munitions, $200, no shipping, free shipping, that's a steal. And they have tons and tons and tons of calibers. They also have a lot of commercial stuff from like Winchester, Remington, Hornady, Barnes. Barnes is like the best hunting round for rifles that you can get. And you can get a good amount of that and get free shipping on it. And that is a steal compared to a lot of other places. Oh, actually, that's not the last one. The other one I'm going to say is audiobooks.
Oh, yeah.
You probably know that person who doesn't like to read, or they like to read a lot. And they, unfortunately, like the truth is like audiobooks are a depreciating thing. Like you listen to it once and it's done, and then you got to get another one. If you get an Audible account for someone and give them a few credits, that's $45. They get 3 credits, they get 3 books, and then with that membership every month they get another book. And we're huge fans here, of course, from Dog Ear Dialogues and such like that, where we're breaking down books that we love. And you can give someone that gift to spurn that, I would say educational aspect of one, listening to a good story, the creativity that comes with that, the drive to, go do something similar to what you've just heard, right? I mean, I think about like the Stonewall Jackson biography that we listened to, and how that like really impacted me to like live out life as a man who, you know, has his creed and morals and adhere to those.
Mm-hmm.
And just like the impact you can have living life as a person who upholds their values. And that book was great. It was, you know, for one credit, quote unquote, $15.99 a month.
Mm-hmm.
That book was like 34 hours.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of time and
Yeah.
a lot of like, you know, value in a car drive, a commute, working, and you get to listen to something that's a beautiful story. And so East of Eden as well, you know, another book that is great and excellent for understanding the, I would say, like moral values of conflict and resolution and blessing someone with peace or forgiveness. It's a very impactful story. And, you know, one of those things is, again, like one credit and you get a, gosh, I can't even remember. That book was, I want to say, like on the upward side of 30 hours as well.
For sure.
And so like those things like that, like those are easy ways to provide someone something that is depreciating and needs to be sustained. And it's a blessing to them to provide those items to them for whatever kind of need or purpose they have.
Especially for like people who are non-readers. Like I've got lots of friends who are like, if you talk about books, they're like, I don't read. Like anytime you bring up a book, like, I don't read. And you're like, what? Like, which is fine, kind of, because they're missing out. And you can tell when they kind of say that, they like wish they could or would, but they just don't or won't or think they can't. And the audiobook piece makes it so easy. So it's like, it's an easy way where I've had people where I'm like, hey, like just listen to the audiobook version. You know, it's going to take, you know, listen to 30 minutes a day on your drives. You'll be done, especially with like shorter things or shorter books or things, like you'll be done in 2 weeks. You'll be done in 3 weeks with this, where they'd be like, it would take me a year to read that. It's like, hey, here, have this. And so it's kind of a way to let people who, especially like, there's like, oh, I'm not a reader. You can, this gift, I think it's an awesome gift for people because they're missing out on some really cool stories, awesome perspective, good history, just, you know, even especially or just American literature, whatever, like it's stuff they're missing out on. So you give them a chance to listen to that.
Well, and I think too, like one thing that I find myself thinking about when I'm listening to Audible, I listen to it, you know, I listen to a book probably, I don't know, on average an hour a day. And I think if I had this in high school, this could have made it so easy to read the books that were required and listen to them while I was working on other things or doing other things, and like still pick up on quote unquote what the test was going to be on, or what, you know, the summary I was going to have to write was going to be on,
and to gain the actual like knowledge and point of the book, you know.
Exactly.
I don't know if I read a single book all the way through for school period. Like no shot. But if you have that too, one thing you can do, especially like if you have someone who's like, if you have a kid or someone who's struggles with this in school, if they listen and read along, you like, they will start crushing their class. Like you buy them the book, buy them the Audible, and then if they read along while they listen, it could be a huge game changer.
The comprehension, I think, would be pretty high.
Comprehension,
I wish I had it.
Yeah, comprehension goes through the roof, and just depends on like the type of learner you are, because we know that schools aren't geared towards every individual and how you learn. They're geared for the masses and for particular types of learners. So if you can like change that that style and change their chances of, you know, taking that kid who's completely uninterested, and then, you know, I think there's so many people out there who are just like, I hear so many stories of people who are like, you know, they were bad students in high school, but once they finally found what they wanted to do in life, or how they were interested in things later in life, they could crush it. That was mostly like a learning style issue. So like, just get. I think that I really wish I had something like the audio, you know, option, because I think I would have got it done
for sure. What else, Pat? What else is on like your list of gift giving guide kind of recommendations?
For sure. I think I'm thinking of less like particulars and more like strategy, which would be, it can be hard getting gifts for people who have a lot of big hobbies because the next thing they want, it's $1,000
Sure.
or it's $5,000, right? So it's like, it's really hard. So it's like, if you take a little bit of time to research the things they're into, there are always small items that that can really be kind of like heartfelt gift and like intentional.
Yeah.
Especially even like, for instance, like, okay, so like take your gift, for instance, a duck call and some things like lots of duck hunters spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on gear.
Yeah.
Right. And so this was not that much, like this was not in that range, but it was like, for instance, getting like, let's say you were an experienced duck hunter, getting you a personalized duck call is still like way, way cheaper than getting you a new duck hunting boat. It's $30,000
For sure.
Right. So, just like if it feels like you can't reach the price tag of what people are after, like I think so many people like gifts that feel like they speak to them and stuff they like to do. And if you can't, get them the whole kit and caboodle, get them something that's like, in the realm, that knows if it says, if your gift says, I know who you are and I know what you care about, that goes beyond,
Yeah. Well, I mean, on that note, like all of my gifts on my gift list this year, I put an Excel spreadsheet together.
Oh yeah.
And I put the prices and the links to them. All of them are just D&D stuff.
Oh,
Dungeons and Dragons. And it's just like, hey, like anything here will be put to good use at a table with a bunch of people having fun and laughing and bonding together. And there's, the price range I think goes from like $150 down to like $20, right? And it's like any of those would mean, something to me, and not only just to me, but they're going to mean something to the other people who I put on it, an event for, a session for, right? And so it's like, yeah, you don't need to get someone the $1,000 kit of whatever it is they're looking into, because if you get them just like the $20 thing or whatever, it can be applied and utilized.
And I think that was kind of like my next strategy in peace was also, we're losing our ability to have conversation, to engage with other people, to be present with others. And so get people something that forces people to be together. Like even like going old school board games, or whatever, like going with things that force togetherness is
socialization.
Something that exactly that like that's a gift that will be valuable.
Yeah. Well, hey, Ken, hope you enjoyed this show. Hope it was of value to you. We talked about a lot of things, but it all comes full circle around to these times during the holidays, and just being considerate and thinking of others, and just knowing who your audience is and making sure that you're getting something that means something to them. It's personal. And you heard that here. I mean, we just had our gifts. Pat, I don't know. I hope you feel personally recognized.
Oh, yeah.
I feel recognized. And we hope that blesses you guys going into this holiday season. And, you can apply that going forward. But with that, Pat, anything else?
Till next time. Thanks for tuning in. If you love this episode, drop us a review. If you have qualms or comments, leave us a voicemail on our website. While you're there, check out our latest news, merch, and deals from our sponsors. Till next time, Ken.